So we're reaching the end of 2025. It's probably already the new year by now, but hey, I thought I would just do something different for the new year to recap what we have played in 2025, some of the stuff that I've played on the channel, on the main channel, as well as some things that I've played in my spare time on my own or with friends, that sort of thing. And I thought we would take a look at the Steam Replay 2025, take a look at the data, and we're also going to check out the PlayStation wrap-up as well. And we're going to go through all the data that we have and sort of like analyze what has been picked up and what Steam and PlayStation have catered to us. And I'm going to go through my library after we're done with that as well. So we'll have a look at some of the games that I have, and I'll talk about some of them in depth throughout the video, the ones that I want to talk about more specifically, so maybe the ones that I haven't really talked about much on the channel before, or the ones that I think are worthwhile to do so. Yeah, without further ado, let's just jump straight into it and recap what I played in 2025. Okay, so we are here at the Steam Replay 2025 page, and also if you want to check out your Steam Replay if you haven't found it, or you want to have a look through your own data and just have a good old little analyze, I will leave the link in the description. If you are also, you know, have Steam games and stuff that you play throughout the year, so it's very interesting to check it out. It might not happen if you've got like a private account, but it's really cool to see if you do have, you know, certain data sharing stuff that you don't mind sharing with Steam. But anyways, so this year you played a variety of different games. Oh, did I now? So it says that I have played 41 games and 12 more games more than last year. So I played 20 new games, 4 demos and 3 playtests, and I got a total of 416 achievements. That's crazy. 40 fewer than last year, so I went a bit hard with the achievements in the previous year, which is crazy. So 26 games, I don't know why I said 60. 26 games, rare achievements. Oh, I see, okay, I see what it's trying to do. So it also says here that, of course, I play mostly on controller, 64%. It's still kind of like in the middle, and that is mainly because of Phasmophobia, and right there we can see we have Phasmophobia. So these games right here, these are the ones that I have played the most on my Steam account throughout the year, and of course with Phasmophobia being the number 1, Persona 5 being number 2, and then Final Fantasy 13 being the 3rd. So we'll talk about those in a bit more detail in just a moment. So how you compare, stack your year against the rest of the Steam community. Okay. I guess we just get titles. But anyways, so it says here that 40% of the games that I played were new releases, which does make sense. And then we have recent, so the percentage of gameplay, yep, so the percent of playtime spent by all Steam users in new releases. Okay, so I'm in the 14%. Okay, that's not too bad, to be fair. Like, I'm not really much of a new gamer, if you will. There are some games that I definitely know that I like to play if they are new, but I'm usually quite selective with my games, so I don't, you know, just buy everything, otherwise I'll be totally broke. But most importantly, I make sure to prioritize the games that I know that I'm going to like on release, and if it comes out, say, a couple months ago and it's a good price and it's on sale and I really want to play it, then I'll probably do it that way. It depends on the games, really, but that's just my ethos on games that are new, basically. And then it says here, you are what you play. Okay, this spider graph shows the kind of games you spent the most time in 2025, and right there is maxed out is horror, which is crazy. Again, it's Phasmophobia, really. And then close to it, close to second, is JRPG, which does also make sense. And then after that, I think it's racing, which is only just slightly below RPG. It might actually be the same number, just from looking at the graph here. And then we also have capitalism and cozy that equal. I don't know what capitalism would be. Maybe Helldivers? I don't know. But then we have extraction shooter. So, and then just some gifts games right there. So let's take a closer look at your top played games. So my number one my number one top game of the year that I've played is Phasmophobia. So hunt ghosts, don't become one. And we got a total of 16% total playtime, 327 sessions played, a daily streak of 26, and I got all achievements this year. And I'm actually surprised that it did that, because I only just recently got all of the achievements, because I think they say at the bottom it records up to a certain point with the Steam replay, so maybe it still counts because it's still technically 2025. But as you can see with the charts, all throughout the year I've just been playing Phasmophobia for the weekly challenges, and I think around this point was when I was doing the Gold Apocalypse challenge, so I was just trying my absolute best to try and get it done because it's such a difficult achievement. And I think with Phasmophobia, I wanted to take the game a lot more seriously, and not only that, I kind of formed this mental rivalry against someone who was like, oh yeah, I've been figuring out how to guess the ghosts, well not guess, but figure out the ghosts without needing any evidence. And at the time I was like, that is actually insane, how did you manage that? So I did my research, and then it just totally just blew my mind as to the stuff that I didn't know about Phasmophobia until this year, which is crazy. There's like so many things that made sense after I looked into stuff, because there were the basic stuff that I knew, like how wraiths work, that they can't touch salt, and other things like Reiju being very sensitive to technology, so the faster around tech, and you know, things of that nature. So it's been really cool to delve into how the game works more and understanding it better, because Phasmophobia has been a constant throughout since I've ever played it, thanks to my friend Wolfdy, and I've enjoyed it ever since. And especially now I enjoy it a lot more than I did before, because I was having a really hard time trying to get past the game, and I think some of it is scare factor, whilst also trying to be like, how do I get more money? I feel like I'm stuck because it took me a long time to try and get good equipment in the game, and it felt like it was taking forever. And I wasn't doing the weekly challenges. Ever since I did them, it's night and day. The money that you get in the challenges are crazy. So I'm really glad that I started doing those, and I was able to basically learn about the game more as I did the weekly challenges. So if you want to get into Phasmophobia, I'd say that's a really good way to do it, is if the weekly challenge is not too difficult, then definitely do them. And as well, what's really good is that if you just guess the ghost and you die, you can still complete the weekly challenge, just as long as you guess the ghost correctly 3 times. So, I mean, there's no other way, there's like no bad side to it really. There's like, you know, it's a win-win, even if you die. Whereas, you know, if you die in the normal game on the custom difficulties, you lose all your money. And, well, sometimes you do. But, yeah, the repercussions are quite, you know, painful. Especially if you're not as good as the game as I used to be. I used to be not great. So it's been great to learn about the game, share my knowledge as well, like when I play with Wolfdy and everything. So it's been really great, and I'm very glad that I did. So yeah, I just thought I would talk about the game in length because it's my most played game, and as to why I really enjoyed it this year. So let's carry on further down. And also there's some of the achievements that I got. 20 this year, and one of them is the tier 3 prestige. Yeah, so prestige 3. This is prestige 2, but that should update soon. So here we are. So Persona 5 The Phantom X. So I started this game in 2025 because the game released this year, and yeah, I've been playing a lot of the game in my spare time, mostly just to, you know, try and get resources, new characters and stuff, as well as, you know, doing all the events and everything. And I've kind of dropped off the game, if I can't lie. I haven't really played it as much, like same as September. It's been very like up and down, and I think it's kind of been getting to that point with gacha games where I'm starting to get really burnt out by gacha games, and I just fancy something different. Especially because a lot of them are like, oh, you know, if you play it daily, you'll get all the currency to get new characters and stuff, and I think I've gotten to a point where I've hit a wall and I'm like, I'm not really enjoying it. So I decided to basically put the game on hold for now. So maybe in the future I'll come back to it, but I think with certain gacha games, or kind of like gacha games in general, I'm kind of like at a burnt out stage with them, so I'm not really going to be playing them as much. And same goes for Let's Play stuff, but I mean, after you've played so much of a game, especially in such a short amount of time, unless you really enjoy it, it does sometimes start to burn you out. And I think gacha games, they can be a little bit intoxicating, where they take up your time and you're like, I need to get this character, and then there's the whole thing of, you know, if you're free to play or you're spending money. And as much as I really enjoy the franchise and the game with, you know, Persona 5, I'm kind of just like, what it is, you know? So if I do stop playing the game, then it's like, that's fine, and I'm probably going to uninstall the game at some point soon, just because I want to put more time into other games now and not feel that pressure of having to play it every single day just to get, you know, sort of like temporary happiness out of it. Whereas I want to play the games that I know that I will enjoy for a lifetime and that I'll come back to at any given point and be like, yes, this is a fun game. Whereas Persona 5 might not be around in 5-10 years, so yeah, that's just my thinking on it. But still, it's a very good game. The story's pretty cool, and we've done the Let's Play of it and stuff, so yeah, can't complain. And then now we can talk about a game that does last for a lifetime, over 5-10 years, because it's not online. One of my absolute favourite JRPGs of all time, and my personal favourite Final Fantasy game is Final Fantasy 13, and I played a heck of a lot of this game in January specifically, and over time as well. I've spent a lot of time playing Final Fantasy 13 over the years, so this is excluding Steam, but I've played it on Xbox 360 probably like nearly 200 hours or more, and I haven't managed to fully complete the game before, and I kind of like set myself a goal to be like, I want to fully complete the trilogy this year, and I set myself that challenge by doing it with this game, did all my research, trying to figure out how I could do it, and, you know, basically following lots of walkthroughs, and as you guys saw on the playthrough as well, because it's available if you guys want to check it out. And I'll probably leave a link in the description if you guys want to check out my most played games, so probably Phasmophobia, Persona 5, and Final Fantasy 13. If you guys are curious to see, you know, what it's been like to play these games this year. And yeah, I can't give this game enough praise, and it's kind of technically new for me because I've never been able to do the post-game stuff where it's super difficult, and especially with trying to get all the achievements, which I will show here. There were obviously some achievements that I already got throughout the years, but these were the ones that I never managed to do myself until recently. Like, obviously there are some that I have already done, but yeah, I was like, I want to go full throttle, pedal to the metal, I want to complete the franchise, the trilogy, and I managed to do that. Because you can also check out the playthroughs if you want to see them as well, so Final Fantasy 13, Final Fantasy 13 2, and Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13. So I did manage to complete all of them this year, and I believe we did the second game in February, and March, April was kind of like spread out. It was a little bit of the trilogy sort of like sprinkled throughout the months, and then I went super hard into Phasmophobia, and then after Phas, it was Persona 5 when that came out in June in Europe, in like the other continents, since it was like a worldwide release. Even though it was already available, I think it was available in China last year or something like that. But yeah. Anyways, let's check out the rest of the data that we have. Yeah, so here we go. This is what I was just talking about. Sadly, there's no artwork cover for it, but Final Fantasy 13 2 is the 4th most played game that I did, and again, that is due to being able to fully complete the game. I did technically start the game in January, and I think I remember at the time I was basically just getting it all ready and prepared so that I could just be like, yeah, focus on getting the game complete. And a day streak of 14 days in 1 month, that is pretty good. Pretty good. So 88 sessions, 29 achievements. I don't know, I think I might have done like 1 achievement for the game, and then I got the rest just from playing it. And I think with 13.2, I want to say I have fully completed it before, but it's been really nice to do it on PC and do it kind of like the proper way with, you know, basically making sure I'm super strong. I think there's like a few achievements that I didn't get, but I definitely remember doing nearly everything in the game when I played it on Xbox 360 at the time. So, of course, when I was like playing it on PC recently, I was like, yeah, I want to fully complete it, because that was my goal, and it was really fun. Really fun. I think if I have to pick like my favorite, it would definitely be Final Fantasy 13, and you know, like I said, there's a lot of nostalgia behind it since I played it when I was like a teenager, and again, it's just one of my personal favorites because it was the first ever Final Fantasy game that I played as well, like fully myself, so there is some bias to it. I know it's not the perfect game, but you know, I really enjoy the game and the trilogy. And then next up, this one took, I think, a bit more time to get done, but I think that was because I was spreading it out a little bit with the game, and I mean, it's possible I was probably busy with work stuff, so I couldn't quite dedicate as much time as I could to the first 2 games in the trilogy, but still decent amount, 8% playtime, so it's very close to Final Fantasy 13 2 in terms of the playtime. And again, I managed to fully complete this game as well, and I think I did do a little bit of the base game, like probably 1 of the chapters when I played it in my spare time. This is going back years and years now, but again, I wanted to fully complete it and I managed to do so. So it's been really fun to do that with games for me, because I started doing it about a couple of years ago, where I started to complete games that I thoroughly enjoy, as in get all of the achievements, or even some games where I never actually managed to finish them, and it wasn't until recently where I was like, I want to go back to them and just complete them, you know? I just want to do everything. And I'm super glad that I did, especially for Final Fantasy 13. I felt like I kind of owed it, you know? It's like enough time being spent over the years of playing the games. I just want to try and finally be able to say I completed every single one, and now I can. So, yes. And now we have the playtime by month. So it's like basically a general breakdown of everything I played per month, like in a pie chart format. No, not pie chart, a bar chart. There you go, a bar chart. Pie chart is totally different. But yeah, that's just like a general gist of what I've been playing. And you can kind of see some of them, but the layout further down will give us more of a sort of like clearer view, so we'll check that out in just a moment. So, like I said before, earlier on, 64% of your playtime is with a controller, 32 games and 569 sessions. Crazy. So, we've got 5% with Persona 5 because I play a mixture of that on PC and controller, and then with the Final Fantasy games, of course, they're all spread out because I am a console gamer at heart and always have been, so if I can play a controller with the game, I am going to be doing that. That's just my personal preference. And then at the end, we have something that I haven't played on the channel, but I've really been enjoying in my spare time this year, is Monster Hunter Rise, and I'm going to get into that in just a moment because I can't give enough praise to the game. It's so good, especially if you have a friend to play with you with Monster Hunter stuff. It's amazing, just so satisfying to take down awesome monsters and just play with your friends, have a laugh, you know. Yeah, it's just great. Monster Hunter Rise, it's brilliant. It's super cheap when it's on sale. Highly recommend it if you want to get into a Monster Hunter game. and I'll talk more about Monster Hunter stuff, because I did also play the more recent Monster Hunter game earlier this year, just not quite as much as Rise, and I'll talk about kind of like why, and basically go over more info. So for now, let's see. Playtest you participated in, which is one game, and I believe this was the open network test, and this is the PC version, of course, and this came out, I think it was like early in the year, I want to say, like maybe, or it could have been later on. So, oh, that's really cool. So we get some more info. It was actually August. Oh, okay, I was totally off. I think it was the PlayStation test was, I think it was November. It was very, very early, whereas the play test was quite late, and it kind of makes sense why, since you could play some of the actual game, like some of the Grand Prix stuff, as well as like just doing, offline kind of things. I think, oh yeah, there was online as well, online gameplay stuff that you could do, and it was like kind of like limited, so there was a good amount of content to play. So I guess that's kind of like why they did some of it later on. Although the network test on PlayStation, that was really good, and I'm very, very happy that I managed to check that out as well at that time, since I managed to play the game super early, super early compared to August of this year. But still really enjoy the game, and I still play Sonic Racing CrossWorlds now, and I think this game was probably one of the closer games to being the most played, and I might be able to grab the playtime in just a moment. Let me actually see if I can do that. I'm gonna skip through all this for now. Okay, yeah, so it says here that my playtime is 5%, so very close. It's only just slightly below Final Fantasy with the, most played games, so that's still pretty good. 63 sessions played, a 5-day streak, and of course September, October, November, December. Didn't play it as much in November, just a very busy period, of course. And it's such a good game. I thoroughly enjoy Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. I'm nearly done completing it, so I'm hoping in the next year I will finally be able to fully complete the game. I just need to get like some of the decal stuff and the horns, and I think that should be everything, and then you get like a final achievement to say, oh, you got everything, well done. So yeah, another one of my most played games this year. Really enjoyed it. Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, it's definitely lived up to the hype, because I was so hyped for it for myself personally, and I kind of think it's better than the new Mario Kart racing game. But they've been giving a lot of updates over time, free characters as well, which is still going on, DLC, like we've got a lot of things to be excited about with Sonic Racing CrossWorlds next year as well, so I'm definitely going to be playing more of this game very soon, so I can't wait. So, your longest daily streak was 75 days, and that was from August until October, and I think quite a lot of the thing that comes into play with this is probably Persona and Phasmophobia, just like going back and forth between them. And of course we also have the games that I did check out during this period. So when I did the video for Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, and well, it was basically all of the racing games to look back at them. I might leave a link in the description for it, because it's technically on my main channel, because we talk about Sonic stuff, and this is going to be on my second channel, I think, unless I change my mind. I don't know. I actually don't know at this point, so maybe I'll link everything in the description if this is on my main channel. Who knows? I don't know right now, but we will find out. Anyways, so I also played a little bit of Magic Duels, and I'll talk a bit more about that in a moment. But just it's kind of like some random-ish games that are like around that period that happens to be within that streak. 75 days though, pretty impressive. That's pretty cool. And yeah, lots of pretty good games from here, some new, some old, but yeah. So let's explore the games that I played this year. And there are some that managed to sneak in, which is awesome since, you know, it's not all totally Final Fantasy during like the first period. There's like a little bit of a mixture of games. Of course, we got Final Fantasy and then Oblivion, which we did the playthrough of. Phasmophobia is going to be popping up a lot, so I'm just going to hurt, you know, just acknowledge it's there. You're going to see it every single month. I'm sorry about that, but hey, the game's fun. I enjoy it. And then Helldivers, I sometimes dip my toe back into Helldivers, but not too much because the game, it doesn't run super well on my PC, so I'm a little bit apprehensive about playing it sometimes. But I do enjoy playing it with friends, so, you know, if they're like, oh hey, let's go check it out, let's play it, then I'll just join in. And yeah, Helldivers 2, it's a fun time. Hilarious moments, lots of silly deaths, it's great. And speaking of silly deaths, Lethal Company, I played a little bit of that as well, probably for the update stuff. Like, I don't quite play Lethal Company as much now. I think it's kind of like dropped off, and I kind of think that's because other games have been on the rise, like Peak, R.E.P.O, like R.E.P.O's been huge this year, so that kind of co-op, super popular indie game that's come out of nowhere kind of vibe. You know, it's like more of the focus on those games, and Lethal Company, they had their hype last year, so yeah, not to shade them or anything, it's still a great game. And then Palworld, I've played a little bit of Palworld. I do enjoy the game. I think I find it a little bit difficult to get into because I have played some of it solo and some of it with my friends, and I mean, it's good. I'm not going to fault it, it's a good game. I just think it's not quite the same when you're playing it on your own. For that reason, it's like, I might come back to it, but I just think I need to be in the right mind frame for it as well, and especially because I don't usually play games like Palworld or like, you know, Ark, where it's survival and things like that, but the whole creature system with pals and being able to ride them, it's really cool. I love it, and yeah, I'll probably check it out at some point soon. So Darkest Dungeon, we've played a little bit of the game, and it's supposed to be very brutal, and we saw that from some of the videos that I did on the playthrough. I might revive it, but at this point I'm like, yeah, it's alright. I might check it out a different time, and I think I did play a tiny bit of it in my spare time, where it wasn't on the channel. I can't quite remember, but yeah, Darkest Dungeon is fun. I might check out the second one, because I've heard good things about that one. But yeah, solid game. It's pretty good, pretty fun. And then a game that I decided to play, and I think I did technically play this last year, but I could be wrong. So it's a little bit strange with this game, and we're gonna be talking about this when we look at the PlayStation stuff. But basically, so Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League. It's a okay game. It's fun with multiplayer. The story is kind of lackluster, the main story of it, and it runs terrible on my PC. It's trash on my PC. So I was like, I'm not going to put up with this. And I checked the price on PlayStation, and I was like, it's super cheap. I'm going to switch and do it that way. It was a little bit of a hassle because there is like a way you can transfer your progress onto your other consoles for the game if you have another like copy of it through like the Warner Bros. Online stuff. It was a little bit of a hassle, but I managed to get through it, and there was like some weird stuff where I had to reset my progress to try and get a certain achievement because I kind of like switched around to the midpoint of the game, so there were like some achievements I couldn't really get and they weren't working for some reason. So I probably should have just gone on console for this game, but I did get it with the intent of playing it with one of my friends to, you know, check out the story, see if it's good. I mean, the multiplayer, the gameplay, it's fun. It's not like the best, but for what it is, it's pretty cool, and it kind of reminds me of games like Borderlands, but of course it's like a third person stuff with like a little bit of, I guess, hero shooter vibes from other games that are online. But I can't lie, I was disappointed because I love the Rocksteady games that they've done for Batman Arkham with the DC games, DC comic, Batman stuff. So, Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham City, one of my absolute favourite games ever. And, Arkham Knight, they're solid games, they're really, really good. Whereas this one, they definitely flopped. And I think they shouldn't have gone down the route of paid stuff in the game. It just really put a really bad taste in my mouth, and I was like, yeah, I don't love that. And I think it definitely hindered it, and some of the fans lost faith in them, and I don't blame them. But I hope they make a good recovery, and hopefully we get a good Batman game in the future. So yeah, what's this? Show more. Okay, so there's more. So I played a little bit of Dredge. I don't know, was it the DLC or was I just doing achievements one session? Oh yeah, I think I was just getting achievements. Yeah, because sometimes I'll just do that and be like, yeah, let's just play a game, get achievements, cool. So I decided to play a little bit of Star Ocean: The Last Hope in my spare time. Kind of like a similar thing where I wanted to, just try and get achievements and stuff, have it on in the background, maybe watch a YouTube video. And I was like kind of like in that JRPG kind of mood, so yeah, pretty fun. And I think I would like to do an updated Let's Play of it at some point, because the one I did on the main channel, oh my gosh, it's super old. So the quality of the 4K and full HD remaster will be beautiful. Runs great on PC as well, so yeah, I might check it out at some point, since Star Ocean 4 is one of my favourites, and there is actually a new favourite though, and it was a playthrough that I did start a good while ago, which was Star Ocean 2, so Star Ocean R, or whatever it's called. It's like Star Ocean R, the second story, I think that's it, because I did fully complete it when I played that game. I don't think that was this year, I could be totally wrong, but we'll look at PlayStation. I feel like it was last year when that came out, but yeah, pretty awesome. So there's more stuff here. So Project Unknown. So this is a game that I played with one of my friends, and I saw people play it on YouTube, and I was like, this is a pretty fun game, I'd be willing to check it out. And it has that kind of like Phasmophobia vibe with the sort of like demons and ghosts that show up in the game. It has that similar sort of formula. I think it's pretty fun. I think the game is a little bit bare bones at the minute, but they could add some really nice stuff to it in the future, as they have been doing. So it's been nice to check out the new content that they add with the updates. Like they had a map, like a brand new map for Halloween, I believe, and they had like these cute little outfits and stuff. So yeah, Project Unknown, it's pretty fun. Played it throughout the year a couple times, and I'll probably do the same where I'll check it out here and there. And we have Elden Ring as well. So I think this was just to get achievements again, because sometimes I'll look at my games and I'll be like, can I try and get as close as possible to completion? And I will try and get the achievements, and it's like, yeah. Like I noticed there was some boss fights that I never did in the base game, so I was like, okay, I can do those, because I somehow missed them. So yeah, I do enjoy Elden Ring more than I thought, actually. And I think that one, I think it technically came out last year with the DLC, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a really good game. So yeah, it was just for achievements for that, really. And now moving on to March. Not much to say about Dead by Daylight. It's like just a game that I play with friends sometimes. Meh. Like I think Dead by Daylight is fine. Not my favourite multiplayer. So yeah, same as before, but this time we have R.E.P.O. So I've been playing quite a lot of R.E.P.O. with my friends ever since it came out, and it's I will say it's not for, like, I'm not saying the game is bad at all, none of the sort at all. The game is brilliant for what it is. The style is great, it's really wacky and awesome and funny, like there's so many hilarious moments to it. I think the formula for me, it sometimes gets a little bit frustrating and sometimes kind of like boring, where if you die you're just like trying to watch people survive, and it feels like it goes on forever. I mean, it's still a good game, it's pretty fun, so I can't fault it much, but I think it's just like a whole personal thing for me. But yeah, you and your friends laughed, screamed, and profited in 2025. So that's very accurate. So I am very glad that I did play the game. There's a lot of funny moments in there, and I did check out some of the Halloween content that was added to R.E.P.O, like the new monsters and stuff. But again, yeah, I can't say it's my favourite multiplayer game, just for me personally. We know which one's my favourite. R.E.P.O is an awesome game, pretty cool. So Panicle, I technically didn't really play at that month. It was like very recently, December. Yeah, it feels kind of like a Phas clone, or like Devour. I think it's called Devour, and it's, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll check it out again at some point, but I'm kind of like meh. I haven't done too much of the game, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. So April. Oh, what a good game. Yes, something to talk about that I love. Like something that was awesome. Oh my gosh, Split Fiction. Such a good game. So I'm very shocked this did not win like awards at the Game Awards recently, because Split Fiction is probably one of the absolute best co-op games I have played in such a long time. It was innovative with how the game mechanics worked, with the split screen, with how it would mesh between the screens, like the like ending sequence of the game, like the last hour. Oh my gosh, it's like one of the absolute best experiences playing a co-op game ever with split screen. So if you want to play a game that's co-op with a friend, whether it's like couch co-op or online, because it does support both, it's really, really fun. I thoroughly enjoyed the story as well, but the blend of the different genres as well, because, Split Fiction, it's a play on the words, so it's a mixture between, why choose between sci-fi and fantasy when you can have both in one game. And it's so cool because you go back and forth between fantasy and sci-fi at different points of the game as you progress, and they, like different section introduces different mechanics, or some return, and there's like new stuff to find out, like a totally new area. The environments are beautiful, the graphics are amazing. It was very, very smooth as well, so I'll give it props for that. It felt amazing to play, and I was actually quite surprised how well it played. So what's the name of the characters again? Because there was like, I know who I played as. Zoe, that's it. I played as Zoe, so the like fantasy focused character. So Zoe is right here. And then Mio, my friend, played as Mio. I highly recommend that you guys check out Split Fiction if you want to play it, and as well, if you want, so one person can get the game, and then you can do like a, I think it's like a pass thing, I forget what it's called. I think they do allow that in the game, because that's how I was able to play it. The only downside is you don't get any achievements, but I mean, if you want to play it with your friends, and you just want to get one copy, that's the way to do so. And Split Fiction, solid, loved the game. And then nothing new in May really, just the same old games here. I was probably playing other stuff because we did have Clair Obscur. So June. So I noticed one of my friends was getting into Elder Scrolls Online ESO, and I didn't play too much of it, and I remember like years and years and years and years ago, I did check out the game very briefly, and I managed to get my account back up when I played it back on, like, I think it was on the 360 on the Xbox, and I played it for like a bit, so not too much, and I was like, I'll pick it back up and I'll play a bit of the game with my friend on Elder Scrolls Online. It's pretty good, but I think for me, I am not like a big MMO person, so multiplayer stuff on certain genres for me is like, I don't know. But I mean, it's alright, it's a solid game, it's decent. And then the new edition right here, so Baldur's Gate, I haven't played too much of Baldur's Gate, like only one session. Like, I've played the first hour of the game. I'm just apprehensive about it because I've heard Baldur's Gate is a huge game, so I'm like, oh, do I want to delve into it? And the gameplay is like a little bit different because I don't really play that many strategy turn-based top-down games that much. Like, I've played XCOM in the past, and I really enjoyed XCOM too. So I'll probably get back into Baldur's Gate properly. Like, I've made my character and everything, and one of my friends wants to do online multiplayer, so yeah, I'll probably check it out. I mean, it's a solid game though, it's pretty fun. And I'm looking forward to what Larian do, because they announced the new Divinity game that's coming out at some point, which is going to be bigger than Baldur's Gate, which is crazy. But yeah, probably be a while until that game comes out. Okay, so now we can get into something that I played this year, and I think this game isn't like super new. I want to say it came out last year with Warhammer, and just to like talk about my sort of like background, I am aware of what Warhammer is, and I'm not like super familiar with the lore, but I've played some of the Warhammer games, and by that I mean Darktide and Riptide. So that's like my extent of Warhammer. Darktide, I really enjoy it, played it with friends, and I do plan on playing more of it because we're slowly getting through the main story of the game, and the gun gameplay is awesome. I love it, it's really fun. And I'm playing as like one of the psycho guys, so he has like psychic powers, and I really enjoy it. It's like a really fun time, and just like fun shenanigans. It's a great game, it's really fun, I enjoy it. So I'll definitely be playing more of Darktide. And they got DLC as well quite recently with new characters, which is awesome. Like, that's the newest characters that they added very recently. But yeah, Darktide, I love it, it's really fun. And my friends, they wanted me to check it out, so I was like, okay, I guess I'll get it, alright. So yeah, speaking of new games, so we got Tiny Bookshop and Contractville. So Tiny Bookshop, we played a bunch of it in on the playthrough, and this was one of my most played games of the year. I think my Let's Play summed it out very nicely. It's just such a chill, cozy game. I loved it a lot, and I know that they added a update for December, where they added new features and stuff, and I thoroughly enjoyed the game. It was so nice, and the developers, they put a lot of hard work into this game, and it was nice to like see the whole books stuff as well, because I do have a sort of like fascination with books, and I do have some books on my shelf that I'm kind of trying to read. I'm not great at reading, I can't lie, but I'm slowly trying to get into reading very slowly, one chapter at a time. Yeah, the little references, and of course the obvious ones in the game for the actual real books, yeah, it was just so nice. I really enjoyed it, and the customization, it's just so cute. And I am thinking of coming back to the game to check out the updates and to like show them off, because they've added a lot of quality of life features, so I am very tempted to give it a shot and see what's new with the game, since it was considered like a major update for Tiny Bookshop. I might wait until there's another update in case there is more, but they have added a bunch of new stuff. I think they added like new books as well, like a lot more titles, so there's more variety, which is nice, and that can change up the gameplay and stuff. So yeah, I'm very curious to see what it's like at some point. So yeah, we'll come back to that game at some point. And then Contractville, that's just like a multiplayer game. It's, yeah, it is what it is. It meh. I'm not really like a super big person into games similar to, you know, like simulator stuff, and it's mainly to play with friends, like multiplayer and stuff, but it's fun to, you know, just to try something different for a change. Although what I will say about Contractville, I think it's still technically early access, and it does show. The performance is not amazing. It sounds bad, but it does lag constantly. So that sort of thing does put me off the game, even though it's really awesome that you can basically build a house from the ground up, and there's a lot of different variety of missions to do, which is nice. So it has that kind of vibe, similar to House Flipper or Power Wash Simulator, where you're cleaning up stuff kind of thing, but more, you know, basic. I mean, it's a decent game, but yeah, just the performance that sadly is like, it's what dampens down my enjoyment, and I hope that they just fix it, you know? And then Magic the Gathering. So I've been aware of Magic, I'd say, for a couple of years, and I started to play Magic, I want to say, about 2 years ago, maybe. I think it was around COVID time, actually, so further back. I don't have like any physical Magic the Gathering cards. It's, you know, it was just something I was like, I enjoy card games, I'll give it a try, and I think it's pretty fun. I do enjoy Magic the Gathering. The only thing is, because Arena is, you know, you have to play against other people for the majority of the content, it's like, oh, I'm not the best when it comes to stuff like that, because I get very salty. So I sometimes will be like, okay, let's play a match, see if I happen to do well, and most of the time I don't, because I'm not the best Magic the Gathering player. So but you know, I enjoy my card trading games, or you know, card based games for that matter, and that does lead into Magic Duels. This is more of a single player story mode kind of thing with Magic the Gathering, and I think it had online features at the time, but it doesn't anymore, and it has like DLC where you can play as different characters and try out different decks. I enjoy it because it kind of like helps you learn the game, but it also sets you challenges to try and beat certain characters with specific cards, so I do find that aspect of it pretty enjoyable. And yeah, that's pretty much all to say about those. And now we can talk about another new game that I did play this year, and I was kind of late to the hype of this one, because I was kind of like, I don't know, but Blueprints. I was finally like, I'm just gonna do it, I'm just gonna bite the bullet, I'm gonna like get the game. And yeah, it definitely took a hold of me, and I was like, oh, this game's actually really fun. And it gets very addictive. How many of your runs were ruined by the archives? So many. Blueprints is just such an awesome game, and there's nothing else quite like it, with the roguelike mechanics and room building that you do whilst you're trying to explore through it. Like, the playthrough just expands on it all. I mean, I will say, I'm not perfect. I did, you know, have to look at guides for some of the puzzles. No shame to people that do the same. That's how I coped through the severely, extremely difficult puzzle sections, okay? But that didn't take away my enjoyment from it. Like, obviously on the outside I can see some people being like, oh, you know, you didn't figure it out on your own, blah blah blah. But, you know, I'm I'm not the best at puzzle-based games, since there are quite a lot of puzzles in Blueprints, but again, it doesn't take away my enjoyment from playing Blueprints. And I haven't gotten all of the achievements, so I may come back to do some of them, since I've got 9, and I think the game has like a total of, I want to say around 16 or 18 achievements, not that many, but I did manage to get some of the really difficult ones, so I'm happy with that. But the others, I don't know. But I still enjoy the game, and I'll most likely come back to Blueprints, because it was, yeah, a really fun time. Really enjoyed it, and the team, they did a great job with it. So yeah. Now, Tiny Tina's Wonderland. This was just to play online with one of my friends, but I'll quickly talk about it because I do enjoy the Borderlands games, and I've played like I think I played all of them. So like Borderlands 1, 2, 3, and pre-sequel. I haven't played the newest one though, but I think that'll most likely be the game that I play for next year. So kind of like what I said before, I don't always play new games that are released the same year. I'll wait until they go on sale. I've been replaying Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. It's, for me, I'd say it's my favourite one. It's really quirky and fun, and it's like a spin-off as well, based off the DLC, the Tiny Tina DLC that was in like Borderlands 2. So I think it's just so awesome that they did like a full game based on it. Yeah, so pretty fun time. And then in October, so I checked out Escape Simulator with one of my friends. I mean, it's self-explanatory. It's just a escape room simulator, and you just got to figure out the puzzles, trying to figure out what to do. And it's been fun to play that with my friend and just, solve puzzles together and all that. So yeah, pretty fun. So we also... Oh yeah, is there more? Oh, oops. Ooh. I'm skipping all these. Oh dear. Oh no. What am I doing? Okay. Backtrack a little bit. So, Shinobi, Art of Vengeance, I checked out the demo. Yeah, pretty fun. Not much else to say on it. Like, I might check out the full game at some point. So, I think this is when I can talk about Monster Hunter, because I got the game in October, and then I played it a lot in November. So, Monster Hunter Rise. Let's talk about it. Because, oh my gosh, it's managed to beat the playtime of some of my other games. I think it's only just under, like by 2%. It's only 2% lower than Final Fantasy. Like I said before, I've done it, I kind of did it in a weird order, because just to give context, I was totally new to Monster Hunter when Monster Hunter Wilds came out, and I basically helped edit videos about Monster Hunter. And I was like, okay, I'm curious to check it out, and I heard really good things about Monster Hunter Wilds and how it's kind of friendly for newer players. It's a really good introduction to the games, even though if we're looking at console performance or PC performance, it's not the best, and I think they're still trying to figure things out. I still enjoyed the game and I've played a little bit of it. I've played just under 20 hours, so I'd say I'm about maybe halfway through the main story, and I kind of like put it on the back burner for now, and I was like, okay, I'll just play other games, but I still enjoy Monster Hunter Wilds, and I do plan on coming back to it at some point. And yeah, so a couple months passed by, and one of my friends who is very knowledgeable about the game, they asked if I fancied checking out Monster Hunter Rise, and I was like, cool, I'll check it out. And they pitched it very well to me. They, said, super cheap when it's on sale, performs really well on PC, it's like a game that's relatively kind of new. So I was like, okay. And they were helping, they were willing to help me learn, and that's exactly what I did, was just learn how to play Monster Hunter. And I'm currently playing with Longsword in Monster Hunter Rise, because I also started off with Longsword in Wilds, and I think that's like my personal favorite weapon, because it's just so cool seeing the flashy moves, like the anime kind of style, if you will. But yeah, I can't lie, I've started to become a fan of Monster Hunter now, and I do enjoy Monster Hunter Rise a lot. I'm currently only just 80 hours into the game, and I'm doing some like high rank stuff. So I think I've only just hit rank 30, and I'm kind of leading up to the final like boss fights. This is for the Gathering Hub, so I'm currently rank 30 on that section. So I did all of the village quests that are like, yeah, it's single player only, and there's like a bit of story to it as well. I find it really enjoyable, and my friend helped me get the hooks of the game, understand the mechanics. Their knowledge passed down to me, and it's just been so fun to play it on multiplayer, even as much so that I was like, I'm just going to play it solo, and that is what I did on Wilds, of course, but it's just been really cool to just feel super powerful in the game and have like an idea of, I know what I'm doing, as well as, just studying the monster's behavior and being like, okay, attack. Now get my counter ready, counter them, I need to back away, heal myself, It's like studying the monster's behavior and noticing their patterns. It's really cool, it's really fun, and I can see why Monster Hunter Rise has such a big fan base, and a very dedicated one at that matter. Nothing but great things to say about Monster Hunter Rise. I also did get Monster Hunter World on PC, so I'm going to be checking that out at some point. I think I'm going to try and get around to finishing Monster Hunter Wilds before I do Worlds. So currently, of course, Monster Hunter Rise. I'm going to try and see if I can get as much done as possible. I have Sunbreak, the DLC for Rise as well, and I'll probably like save that for multiplayer. I am thinking of getting back to Monster Hunter Wilds because I have that on PlayStation, so I'll probably see if I can beat the main story, and then if I want to, I might do some of the post-game stuff. But I know post-game content can get very difficult from what I've learned, so I'm like, maybe I might check it out, I don't know. But Monster Hunter Rise, I will say it's a great game. I really enjoy it, and I can't wait to play more soon, because most likely when I'm done with this video, I'm going to be playing more Monster Hunter Rise, because I love it. It's so fun. Yeah, can't give it enough praise. Such a good game. And then well, actually, wait, there's three new games. Okay, four. So yeah, November was really the multiplayer month. Same with October as well, a little bit of multiplayer there. And I didn't talk about Slime Rancher, but we've done a playthrough of it. We're kind of still going through it. It's a fun game. But yeah, let's talk about these ones. So Paranormal Cleanup, pretty fun game. It's made by the people that did Lunch Lady. It's like a horror game similar to Devour, where you got to try and avoid the monsters, and the game has too many achievements. Way too many, 94, crazy. But yeah, Paranormal Cleanup, I really enjoy it. It's very easy to pick up, and it's a game that you can basically pick up at any point, and you kind of like, you can figure out what to do. It's not that complicated at all, and I can see why people enjoy this one over Lunch Lady, because this has more to it, whereas Lunch Lady is kind of like you're avoiding the monsters. I enjoy it. It's really cool, the different maps that they've done, and how each map has a different ghost, and there's like lore behind it. I think it's really smart what they've done, and they even introduced other maps that are from their previous games, from the devs' other games. So like I mentioned, there's like a school map, which is basically the same one as Lunch Lady, and there was like another one from one of their first ever games. It's like a giant mansion, and they were like, yeah, let's put this in Paranormal Cleanup. It's a really fun game, and if you just want to mess about with friends, yeah, I think it's awesome. It's really good. Speaking of fun games, Peak. So this one also came out this year. I was kind of late to the hype because I think it was popping off, I want to say October, like it was kind of like summerish time, I think. And I'm still kind of like getting to grips with the game. I think it's pretty fun. It's a similar thing to R.E.P.O. I probably do enjoy this one a bit more compared to R.E.P.O. And yeah, you're just basically just trying to get to the highest point as possible with your friends. The mechanics are pretty cool. They're pretty well thought out. It's good fun, good laughs, good vibes. Yeah, Peak is a solid game. Can't go wrong. And also, since it's right here, I did decide to get Arc Raiders because some of my friends are into the Extraction multiplayer games. So I was like, okay, I'll give Arc Raiders a go, and it's good. I enjoy the game. No, I was not pulling a face to be like, meh. No, it's pretty good. It's a similar sort of thing with Helldivers 2, where the game it runs okay on my PC. And it's definitely one of those games where I would play it with friends, for sure. I don't know about solo though, I've never played it on my own, and I can't lie, it was around a very busy period of time, around October, November, so I was like, I'll just play it with friends when I can, and I'll most likely play more at some point, but I think it's pretty fun. It's a decent extraction game. The voice stuff is pretty cool, where you can be like, oh, we're friendly, and you know, don't kill us, blah blah blah, if you want to make friends in the game and stuff. Or yeah, things can also get extremely chaotic if you come across people that are like, nah, you're not allowed here, I want your loot. So it's pretty fun, and yeah, I'll probably play some more Arc Raiders at some point soon this upcoming year. And another new game, multiplayer game, Are We There Yet? Brilliant name. They also, surprisingly, they released a an update, like a winter update, and I'm still doing like the first map with my friends, and it's it's pretty fun. It's good to just mess about on that game, similar to R.E.P.O. Yeah, it's pretty fun. I would say it's not amazing because I think it needs a bit more polish to it, and this is just mainly to do with the controls and some of the UI. Like, in my opinion, I think the UI is a bit too basic, so I hope they improve it. And I remember at one point I was having this problem where it was not picking up my microphone whilst I was trying to talk in the game. It just really messed up with my controls, and I was like, what is going on? I will most likely check out the winter map at some point, but it'll just have to depend when I play with friends soon. And then December, majority of what I've been playing is Rise. I've been playing a lot of it in my spare time, and of course with Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. And I did also check out Nuclear Nightmare, and it's similar to, you know, like Panicore and that kind of thing. It's like the whole multiplayer game. You gotta try and avoid the monsters, and I believe it takes a lot of inspiration from The Thing, so like the horror film where it's like in a snowy area. I've kind of seen the film before, kind of not. But yeah, Nuclear Nightmare, it's okay, it's alright. And something that I got very recently was Days Gone. I've not played that much of the game so far, but I'm curious to see what it's like. Again, it's been a bit of a crazy period of like playing different games, because sometimes I find it hard to focus on just one game if there's so many other games going on. Since when I'm very dead set on one game, there's no stopping me. I'm like, I am going to play this game so much, and that's pretty much been Monster Hunter Rise, like 51%, you know? And I've already played 80 hours of the game since I started playing it in, like, you know, late October, November, December, which is quite a lot. So yeah, I really enjoy it. And that's pretty much it. So thank you for being a part of the Steam community in 2025. Yeah, that's the stats for you. And totally makes sense why horror is number one, with like what I've played most of. Played some pretty good games, to be fair. Really solid ones. Some new, some old, mostly old. But yeah, there's some of the games that I played on PC, and in just a moment we are going to be checking out the games that I played on PlayStation 5. So yeah, let's go ahead and switch over to that. Okay, so let's check out the 2025 wrap-up with PlayStation. So there's my account. Let's jump straight in. Do my score. Alright, so right here we have, in 2025 you played 14 games, 12 of them were PS5 and 2 of them were PS4. And of course the top 5 games, at the top we have Zenless Zone Zero and Honkai Star Rail, because they are the gacha games, so I've put a lot of time into them this year, played a ton of them, so as to be expected. And then if we scroll down here, we have games that aren't gacha. So we have Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness, Dragon's Dogma 2, and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. So of course with Star Ocean 5, we checked out this game on a playthrough, but it was like a return to form kind of thing, because I have done a playthrough of this game before, but I felt like I could do it justice by doing it on the second channel. So I'd say if you want to see a pretty solid playthrough of the game, definitely check out Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness, because we actually played it on PS5 at that time, so not on PS4. And it was really fun to come back to that game. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's not my favourite, but I think what I like about it the most is how different it is with the sort of like seamless combat, and as well having like, what, 6 different playable characters at the same time. I think it's like 6 or 5, like 5, 6 or 7. Anyways, yeah, it's still a solid game. Story is like not the best, it is mediocre in some areas, but I still enjoyed it, and it was really awesome to finally fully complete the game. And speaking of completing games, Dragon's Dogma 2, I set myself the challenge to try and fully complete the game, and I was made aware of how difficult the Dragon's Dogma 2 achievements and sort of like how the game works. I found out about that online and stuff, and I kind of was not fully prepared, because some things I wanted to experience for myself, because in the actual playthrough I did have to kind of do like a reset and be like, okay, so I messed up here, I'm gonna have to replay parts of the game. And I think I did a very solid job, because it's like I did acknowledge it in the playthrough as well, and it's hardly noticeable that anything was different, because sadly I got to a point where it's considered point of no return. So certain quests, if you haven't done them up to this point and you progress too far, you can't do those quests anymore. And there was a couple that I accidentally missed out on, so that was why I was like, let's replay it and try and get back up to that point in the playthrough, which I did in my spare time, so that's why the playtime is quite long. But I think it still didn't take away from my enjoyment of the game overall. Obviously, it was frustrating that I had to restart, and there are other elements to the game that get very frustrating, like the Dragon's Plague, which can basically wipe out an entire village, which is crazy. So, I mean, there are some negatives to it, but I do still think it's a solid game. I mean, I think for me it's probably the best one. I've played a little bit of the first Dragon's Dogma, the Arisen one, and I was like, I don't know about this, but Dragon's Dogma 2, thoroughly enjoyed the combat in it with the magic. It was awesome, and the way that the companions work was really cool. And like your own follower, I forgot the exact name of what it's called, but it's basically you can make your own companion and you can choose what class they are, what they look like multiple different things, which is so awesome. Oh, pawns, that's what it is. They're called pawns, and they are like your squire in a way, and you can make them into whatever you want. And I just loved getting to be a super awesome, powerful magic caster, sorcerer, using awesome spells everywhere. It was awesome. I really enjoyed Dragon's Dogma 2. Suicide Squad, I think it came out last year. I could be wrong though, but like I explained in the Steam section, I did end up having to switch because I was like, I'm not enjoying the lag on PC for me because I don't have the best PC, gaming PC. So I was like, okay, I'll switch over to console. And the experience was a lot better. It was very good in terms of the performance. There were some moments where the performance wasn't great, or sometimes I would disconnect from online, and it was a bit frustrating, and some parts are a little bit janky, and I remember this happening with my friend as well, where we would do certain things, but for some reason the game was like, no, you did not. Or it would force us to leave the match, and then we'd have to restart all over again. So we basically wasted 15 minutes trying to do a mission, and then the game's like, no, we're putting a stop to this match right now. So yeah, it was frustrating in that regard, but I mean, still a fun game to play in multiplayer. What can I say? That's about it, really. So let's move on. So role-playing games. Of course, you spent 71% of your game forging your legend through epic quests and hard-won battles. So there are some stuff that we haven't gotten to see. I wish it gave us like a top 10, to be honest. I mean, top 5 is nice, but I think I would prefer to see a top 10, or at least get more of an overview of like what I've played on PlayStation, because it's a little bit limited, because I like that Steam, it's a lot more generous with the data that it gives you. It's super cool that you can just analyze everything and look at every single game and see how long you spent on each one of them. It's really great. So let's move on to the next slide. Oh wow, so I have played 1,061 hours this year on my PS5, and I played 14 different games. Play sessions 1,200. Okay, whatever. I don't know what that means. Midnight Black, I did end up having to get a new controller since I got stick drift on the original white. I have been charging up the console because I've also been updating Zenless Zone Zero because it hasn't installed yet. So I've just been downloading it in the background whilst it's on rest mode. But yeah, the Midnight Black, even though my console is white, I did have a white controller, and yeah, sadly it started getting stick drift problems. So I was like, I'm just gonna have to get a new controller. But my gosh, the price of controllers is insane. And then your trophy milestones. So Horizon Forbidden West, I believe I played this game this year. I could be wrong, or it was the DLC, but I'm going to jump into the actual PlayStation so that I can give a full breakdown of the game, of like what I've played, because the wrap-up isn't quite as detailed as Steam, so that's why I wanted to do this kind of like separately with, you know, looking at this, then we'll look at the PlayStation, whereas Steam replay, it's very self-explanatory, it's very generous with the data that's provided. But yeah, Horizon Forbidden West, Infinity Nikki, Monster Hunter Wilds, we can see there, Xenosaga Zero, and Assassin's Creed Shadows, Elder Scrolls, Oblivion, since I played it on console. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I was basically saying this is the achievement that I got the first one of the year, and it was on January 1st. So yeah, and then as we can see here on the left, I haven't read it yet, but I got 314 trophies. So considering I don't like play the PlayStation that much, although the Playtime says otherwise, it's purely because gacha games. But I managed to get that many trophies, and it says you crushed challenge after challenge this year, racking up an impressive collection of trophies, including some platinums. Yes, so I fully completed 5 games, and we will go over those in more detail in just a moment. And I went up 22 levels as well, so 14 gold trophies, 68 silver, and 227 bronze. Very good. And then a summary of your year. What a year, your final score, and a look to see what is still to come. So yeah, that's my stats. A summary of your year. And then top game, Xenosaga Zero, of course. Crazy. The amount of time that I've spent playing the game is insane. And I also tried to get that to work, and it just does not work. So yeah, that's my 2025 wrap-up. And like I said, let's actually have a look at PlayStation now. Alright, so we're here on my PlayStation account on my PlayStation 5, so let's go ahead and check out the trophies and whatnot so we can basically try and decipher when I played these games, because I think it was basically from Horizon Zero Dawn onwards, and I'm gonna fact check some of those. And also ahead of time, I apologise if some of the trophies, like what time did you get that trophy? I apologise, okay. I'm a bit of a degen when it comes to playing games at certain times. So yeah, I did technically play this game in 2024, and it's the sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn. It's a decent game. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, the first game's great. So Monster Hunter Wilds, as I said before, so I'm still technically playing this. I haven't done that much. I've only played about 18 hours of it or so. And yeah, just from looking at the trophies, you can kind of get an idea of how much I've done so far. And there was like one hunt that I really enjoyed with getting the spider armor and stuff. And yeah, I mean, it's a fun game, I enjoy it, so I want to try and play more of it at some point soon, like I mentioned. And Dragon Age the Veilguard, that was like a free game at the time, part of the monthly subscription, so I technically haven't played it. And there we are with Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, as I said before. So I've fully completed it, all done, all trophies. And I have some of them on Steam, but not all of them. But yeah, I managed to get it all done on PlayStation 5 with the nice smooth frames. And then we have Assassin's Creed Shadows. So I did play some of this game, and I'm kind of still early in the game. And I think what played a big role into this was that I was seeing stuff online beforehand and afterwards, and I was just like, I'm just gonna put the game down for now, because it kind of gave me a not great feeling about it. And I was like, I guess there are games that do a similar purpose and that are better. And even when I played Where Winds Meet, which is, you know, very authentic in Chinese, even though this is set in Japan with Assassin's Creed Shadows, yeah, some of the backstory stuff, just like, ugh, you know, with like the main guy, I was like, it's really unfortunate that there's a lot of backlash behind things and stuff. I mean, the game itself, it's okay, but there's a lot of things that frustrate me, like the online stuff and the pay for outfits, like pay to look cool. It's just like Ubisoft trying to scalp people for money, in my opinion. And I can't lie, Ubisoft have the company and the high up, not great things I've heard. I can't lie. But I mean, the game itself, it's alright. I might go back to play more, but at the minute I'm like not really interested. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. So Dragon's Dogma 2, I have completed it fully, as I mentioned before, we talked about it. And the game that we haven't talked about yet, Clair Obscura Expedition 33. And this game has had a lot of attention on it, especially recently, to do with the Game Awards, and a lot of people having very conflicted opinions about it, with is it like, should it be considered an indie game? And you know, it won best indie, best debut indie game, and I do agree that I think it's a big issue, and really they need to reevaluate the definition of an indie game, because if you think about it this way, the game is not self-published, because Sandful Interactive, bless their hearts, they believed in the project. No, Sandful Interactive is the developers. Kepler is the publishers. My apologies, totally messed that up. So Kepler gave them the funding, I think roughly like 10 million. Probably, I think it's euros. I could be wrong, could be dollars though. But basically they gave them a lot of money to help fund the project, you know. And they believed in this game. So Kepler are like a indie publisher technically, so they help bring indie games to their full potential. So can you still technically say it's an independent game if they've been funded by someone else? See where there's like a grey area there? It's like, is this really fair? I don't know, and I think they need to reevaluate it. And then there was like the whole drama of like AI, and it turned out it was just a placeholder, and they did scrap it. They didn't use AI to make the game itself, so they say, but that sort of thing did cause a ruckus to things, and that's been a huge debate this year with games being made with AI or games that use AI, and you know, not that many people are a fan of it, and I totally understand it, you know. And my ethos, my thinking on it really is, as long as they're not taking away the workforce with using AI, then that's totally fine. Only use AI as a tool is what I think. Don't use it to replace people's jobs, you know, because people can easily do things that AI is making, and I think going down the route of having AI create games is just going to make products that are just mindless and just worthless. There's no like creative fuel behind it, you know. It's just like you're pumping out something just to get people to buy your product, and there's no, like, I guess, love behind it, no realism, there's no, you know, there's no reality to it. I mean, it's I'm trying to think of a way to describe it, but it's basically fake. It's basically a fake product. It's not exactly genuine. It's like not really made by people. So yeah, but with Clair Obscur, totally not that though, because they put in so much hard work into the project, and the funding did help them get a lot of opportunities to reach the full potential that it did, and I think it rightly deserves a lot of the praise, because the music is phenomenal, the storytelling is fantastic, the character dynamics, they're fully dimensional. And the combat, the environments, everything about it is amazing, and it really is a piece of art. So I think it did fully deserve the other rewards. It's just there's a lot of issues to do with this being considered an independent game and winning those awards. And I mean, there was even some drama where they took away the Game of the Year and Best Indie from Clair Obscur for similar reasons with the whole AI stuff. So it's unfortunate, but I don't know, it's a really complex topic, and I hope this sort of thing doesn't become prominent in the future to do with gaming and AI. I hope people are not stupid. You know, they just they say to people, hey, we used AI to make parts of this game, but so and so and so, because I know I noticed on the game called The Outlast Trials, they said, hey, we use AI for like generative posters and stuff like that, but it doesn't replace the creative energy that the team put into the game. So you know, that kind of thing of like, hey, here's a what am I trying to think of? Here's a precaution, I guess. Not really precaution, but here's a heads up, you know, like a content awareness thing. I'm trying to think of the correct terminology. No, I'm like totally blanking it, but basically just to be like, you know, if you do play this, we did use AI. You know, it's like, at least acknowledge it, because it's getting really difficult to figure out whether something is made with AI or not nowadays, and we can't go the rest of our lives being like, is this game AI, is it not? You know, we shouldn't have to think that way with how things are going with gaming and such. But yeah, anyways, rant over about AI. So Star Ocean, like I talked about before, brilliant game, really enjoyed it. We played it previously on the channel. Infinity Nikki, I think I played it this year. It might have been last year though, because I did check out some of the updates that were added to the game, and this is being a bit slow because I'm downloading stuff on it. But yeah, I checked out the game when it first launched because I was very curious about it, and it was getting a lot of praise and a lot of attention. And it's a beautiful game, like the clothing in it is phenomenal and such. So I had a great time playing something very different, and it was a very cozy game. And I'm gonna pause this download because this is being really slow. Okay, so it finally loaded in. So I did play this game in 2025, and I think it did release this year. So yeah, technically this is a game that I did play in 2025. So like I said, I enjoyed playing a game that was different. You know, it's like a different vibe. It's like a nice cutesy game. It's like fashion, clothing, nice open world. It's very whimsical and chill and cozy and cute, and yeah, the graphics in it looked amazing. And I did kind of lose faith in the game only because of the whole like retcon thing that they did with the story with one of the updates. I think it was like 1.7, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like put the game down for now. And I think I did the right thing, because again, gacha games, they're hard to keep up with unless you're dedicated to them, and it got dropped. But I mean, I had a fun time checking it out. It was really cool to play something different, and it looked phenomenal. Really, I had a great time playing this game, so you know, can't really fault it for that with the gameplay. And then one of my all-time favorite RPGs of all time. This brings so much nostalgia to me with Oblivion, and we did a full playthrough of the game. Yeah, such a special place in my heart. The remaster was not perfect, but the team that did work on it, they did a brilliant job, so I can't fault it that much. And like I said, Oblivion's just one of my favorite games, so there is bias, and it was really awesome to come back to it with this remaster. And it's kind of had that remake sort of treatment as well, slightly, but I think they nailed it. They just did a brilliant job of the remaster, so I'm really happy with how Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion turned out with the remaster. So yeah, and I recently got Bloodborne, and I haven't played it. I've just like booted it up to be like, okay, cool, it works. So I would like to check it out, since I gave Elden Ring a chance last year. I was like, cool, I'll play it, and I honestly ended up really enjoying it. So I will most likely check out Bloodborne at some point soon when I feel like playing a game like it, because it is, you know, quite a difficult game with the gameplay, and you know, having to restart and try the fight again until, you know, you understand the monster's behaviors, and you know, try and get your hits in where you can. That, you know, it's a Souls-like, so it's one of those, and I'll play it more. Well, I haven't even played it yet. I'll play it at some point, don't know when, but yeah, just thought I'd mention that, because Elden Ring turned out to be a game that I wasn't expecting to enjoy a lot, and I've spent over 100 hours on it, and I'm curious to check out the new multiplayer game called Night Rain. But I'm waiting to have my other friends join me on the game, since it's multiplayer and stuff, so that I can get a full squad and just check out the game and just have a good time. So yeah, that's why I haven't played it just yet, waiting for it to go on a good sale price, and then, you know, it's affordable for me and the gang to play it. And where wins me, Yeah, again, it's like I'm having a huge burnout with gacha games right now, and it's funny because there's a gacha game coming out in January that I want to check out, but it's going to be one of those where it's like I check it out 1 or 2 videos, that's it, because yeah, I'm having really bad burnout with gacha games at the minute, so I can't see myself gravitating to another one at this moment in time, unless it blows, unless Arknight's Endfield blows it out of the park. But yeah, that's the game that I'll be checking out at some point soon on the channel, so we'll see what it's like. And Zone Zero, Star Rail, need I say more? I've gone over and over and over about gacha stuff, and yeah, we know the full business about that. And then, in case you're curious, these are some of the other games that I've played on my PlayStation. Some of them are quite old as well, like the ones that I played on my PlayStation 4, like some of these and stuff. Ghost of Tsushima, one of my favourite games ever as well, as of recent. And Spider-Man games are great, Final Fantasy of course, yeah. Pretty good. And I've had this account for such a long time, it's crazy. So before we end off the video, there's actually some things that I would like to talk about, and it's going to be related to the games that are coming out next year, and I did touch on one of them that I will be playing. And I decided to write a small list, and these are potential games that I will be playing on my second channel, and I'm most likely going to put this up on my main channel. So if you want to check out the variety gaming that I do, then go ahead and check out the link in the description to my second channel. If you're curious and you want to check out my playthroughs of the games that I check out, we have a good time there. But yes, so the games that I am looking forward to and would like to check out is Arknight's Endfield, as I mentioned before. That comes out on the 22nd of January. And then next up is like a personal one for me, and one of my friends wants to play it, is Reanimal, which comes out on the 13th of February. It's being made by the developers of Little Nightmares, the original developers. So I'm really looking forward to checking out that game, because I saw the demo that was added not too long ago. Looks very promising, so I'm very excited to see what they do with this like new kind of like franchise inspired by Little Nightmares, because it's kind of like its own thing, like a spin-off. And then of course Resident Evil Requiem, also known as RE9, is coming out on February 27th. I absolutely plan on playing this game. I'm probably going to pre-order it next month, so I have it ready, and I'll probably do it on PlayStation if I had to decide. Although the Resident Evil games, they have run very well on my PC, so I'm kind of still on the fence about which platform to get it on. Maybe PC, but we'll see. And then next up we have Toxic Commando. This is more of a personal one as well, since it's a 4-player co-op shooter, and it comes out on March 12th. And I really want to check this out with my friends, since it gives Back 4 Blood vibes, as well as, of course, Left 4 Dead. I love those sort of games, they're really fun to play. Like I talked about Darktide and Riptide. They're really fun games to play with friends, so yeah, I'm sure it'll be a fun time. And then another one that I'm curious to find out about, because again, I really enjoy the Batman games. It's called Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight, I believe is called. And that comes out on the 29th of May. And it's kind of like the Arkham games, but kind of like reinterpreted in a Lego Batman format. And I think some things are different from what they shown off in the trailer, so I'm very intrigued to see what they do with this game. I think it's being made by Telltale, since they did all of the Lego games previously. And it looks very promising, especially with DC. I think DC games are actually helping with this as well, or at least DC are helping, like Warner Bros, because I know James Gunn is in one of like the videos where he talks about the game, so I'm very curious to see how it turns out, and I hope they do a good job with it. And then we also have, of course, Control Resonance, which comes out on no set date, but next year, so 2026. We have no release date, but I definitely want to check it out, since we're currently doing a playthrough of Control at the minute, so probably by the time I finish everything, like all of the DLC, we'll hopefully get a release date announced. So if I had to guess, I think it's probably going to be around Halloween time, so like October, maybe even a month early, like September, because I know when we got Alan Wake 2, it was early October when we got that game, I believe, so that's kind of like the date I'm expecting to see for Control Resonance, and I am really excited for the game, so yeah, can't wait to play it. And then finally, the other game that I have my eye on for next year is Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis, and this is a kind of like a remake remaster sort of situation, since Square Enix are working on it, and it's kind of like a celebration of the 30th anniversary of Tomb Raider, so it's going to be a reinterpretation of the original Tomb Raider game. And I did play Tomb Raider Anniversary, because that game, it's kind of like a remake of the first game as well, but this one looks very polished, like the graphics look amazing, and they showed a little bit of gameplay in the trailer as well, so I'm really curious to see more from this soon and hopefully get a release date. If I had to guess, it will probably be summer or the back end of 2026, and I'm really looking forward to it. And of course, the other Tomb Raider game, I think that one is coming in 2027, and that's like a totally new game, so kind of like set after the Trilogy series, the reboot trilogy. But I think it's totally different though, because it's being made by Amazon Games, unless that's the remaster, so the remake. So I can't quite remember which one is working on which, but I'm really excited for those games regardless, because the Tomb Raider games are pretty cool. I really enjoy them. So yeah, that's pretty much the games that I'm looking forward to for next year, and a good old reflection on the games that we played this year. And it's been a pretty good year for gaming, and I'm really looking forward to what the future holds for gaming in 2026. So I hope to see you guys then for when we play some more of these games, and a lot of exciting things to look forward to as well, with the things that we will be playing continuing on, like Sonic Racing CrossWorlds and other games that are still ongoing. You know, I'm really looking forward to playing more of those as well. So yeah, that's my thoughts on everything, but most importantly, have a happy new year. I hope you all have a happy and healthy 2026, and I'll be seeing you guys in the new year playing some awesome games coming out very soon.